Forget the stock charts and financial models for a minute. What does AI actually feel like for the people using it on the front lines every single day? Today, I'm going to show you how AI like Palantir is not only empowering workers, but is actively rehumanizing one of our most critical industries, healthcare. We'll start with a powerful first-hand testimony from a registered nurse using their software. Then we'll break down an interview with Palantir COO Shyam Sankar with the boys from the All In Pod, who explains the pro-worker philosophy that makes these incredible stories possible.
My name is Derdinas, and I'm a registered nurse here at Tampa General Hospital. The last 17 years, I've been able to serve the Neuro Intensive Care Unit, where we care for the most vulnerable and critical care patients. So before utilizing AI, it would take hours to gather information, looking in chart reviews, talking to nurses, talking to physicians. We relied on paper, pencil, a lot of paper stapled together with sometimes outdated data by the time I was done going through 32 patients. And this is how we would try and give reports, bringing in AI.
Quick plug, I help businesses make more money with YouTube. One law firm I worked with made hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first 5 months after we launched their YouTube channel. I've got space to work with just a few more businesses. If you own a business, you're probably missing a huge opportunity on YouTube. Book a call with me using the link below to find out more. Thank you.
It has significantly changed the culture on the unit. I had a charge nurse who never gave a multidisciplinary round or a report out. She came on board, she said, "This is an amazing tool. Look at this. It has all my information already gathered and collected." And she was able to report out on the patients. It was completely user-friendly. She's like, "Laura, what is this?" It is creating excitement throughout the nursing community. Using AI has provided more time to be with you or your loved one at the bedside, where nurses should be. We are the heart of healthcare.
Let's just pause and absorb what we just heard. That's right, there is the entire story. Forget everything else. This isn't about AI replacing people, it's about AI restoring people to their true purpose. Laura, a 17-year veteran nurse, described a before world of paper, outdated data, and hours wasted away from patients, and the after being it's not about efficiency for efficiency's sake. She said it's creating excitement and, most importantly, giving nurses more time to be with you or your loved ones at the bedside. This single testimony completely debunks the dystopian fear of AI. Palantir's tool didn't replace the nurse, it liberated her from the machine, the paperwork, so she could get back to humans, the patients. It's rehumanizing healthcare, and that is profoundly bullish in my opinion.
All right. Christian's joined us from Hill and Valley and 137. And Shyam, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Christian, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's nice to be here. I'm definitely feel for the first time like a guestie of the besties.
Don't fuck it up.
This is great. So, Shyam, thanks for coming. We were talking a little bit earlier, maybe this is a great place to start. Obviously, we have the good fortune to be investors in Palantir for 15 years. We've seen the growth of the company, but particularly lately, you've been pushing this messaging that I think has been incredibly exciting of how AI is not a force for job destruction, it's a force for job creation. It's also a way that you can give superpowers to the average American worker. And obviously, we've seen a little bit of content here and how it's already doing that today.
I want to start by saying many of the workers in the video are actually here today joining. Laura, the nurse from Tampa General, actually brought her 12-year-old daughter. So I think the ultimate litmus test is not just how excited are the American worker to leverage AI, but how excited are they for their children to exist in an America that's really embraced AI. And Julie has 4 kids, and she would tell you how much this has not only transformed her view of her job, but the view of her children's future. I think the right frame here really is, how do we give the American worker superpowers? You know, we should not be aspiring to build things that make them 50% more efficient, but really 50 times more productive, and to use that as our our asymmetry in the competition here. Our strengths are not only AI, which is clearly an American phenomenon, but also the ingenuity of the American worker.
This is the philosophical core of Palantir's message, and it's radically different from almost everyone else in the industry. Listen to the language. Give the American workers superpowers, making them 50 times more productive, not just 50% more efficient. This isn't the standard corporate jargon about optimizing headcount or doing more with less, which is often code for job cuts. This is a language of empowerment and abundance. Palantir's vision isn't to trim the workforce, it's to create an army of super workers who can out-innovate and outproduce anyone else in the world. They see AI as a tool for American competitiveness and individual agency, not just a tool for the CFO to cut costs. It's a fundamentally pro-worker, pro-American stance that sets them completely apart.
And if you spend time on the factory floor, on the front line, you see a very different narrative emerging, where you see people are actually excited about these tools. Every single one of those workers to a T said AI is giving them more time to do what they do best, to spend time with the patient delivering care, to actually build the parts as an engineer, to solve the problems, not to be caught up in all the coordination and the paperwork that's around these things. That's the future we should be unleashing.
Can you generalize the adoption curve? What is it about a particular industry or use case that makes it an early adopter versus mid versus late that you're seeing? Because now that you're touching all these different industries, you probably have a good point of view on this.
Yeah, my take is actually a different dimension of slicing that, which is where does the institution liberate their worker to drive the adoption versus where are they trying to force fit some sort of solution top down? AI is a method of unleashing the agency of the worker, the creativity of the individual, and they're the ones coming up with these use cases. I mean, Chris was talking about it from Hadrian, where you'd be surprised at how people with deep mechanical intuition, traditionally considered blue-collar workers, are the ones who are able to pick up the skills, build the applications, innovate on their own processes, and have that spread through their organization.
Mm-hmm. And are you seeing that you have to build vertical tools or generalized tools for some horizontal kind of set of users somewhere in the organization?
Well, I think that the opportunity with AI is really that you can unleash what's different about your business than all the others. So there's a degree to which you can have generalized solutions, but there's a lot of alpha to be captured by understanding what's unique about how we do things. How do we lever up human taste? Everyone is afraid of AI replacing the human. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it make the person with the greatest taste more valuable, and an ability to spread that to the breadth of the organization.
Let's talk about something beyond taste, which is also like knowledge and skill. And tell us about AI inside of healthcare. I think that a lot of people probably think that we have an incredibly cutting-edge system of tools and software that helps doctors and nurses actually provision great care. What's the actual reality that you guys are seeing?
Well, sadly, I think with the forced adoption of EHRs, what we saw is roughly a halving in the productivity of how many patients you can see per hour.
A halving.
A halving, yeah. So we became half as productive. And we really need to, the opportunity is to work backwards from what is the care that needs to be delivered? How do we build the tools around that? How do we help the nurses, the care staff spend more time with the patients and less time with the computer?
That statistic is absolutely staggering, and it's the key to understanding the opportunity here. The last wave of digitization in healthcare, the electronic health records, actually made doctors and nurses half as productive. It buried them in computer work. It was technology working against humanity. So, what Palantir is doing is not just introducing a new shiny AI tool, they're actively working to reverse the damage caused by a decade of bad enterprise software. They are solving a problem that a previous generation of tech created. When we're saying the goal is to help staff spend more time with the patients and less time with the computer, he is positioning Palantir as a corrective force. They're not just innovators, they are fixers for our most broken and critical systems.
And do you guys see a world where, in order to facilitate that end market versus a different end market, you have a ensemble of many, many, many different techniques and approaches in AI? Or do you think it all sort of gets form-fit into this 1 trillion parameter, huge, ginormous thing that kind of tries to do everything?
I think the cardinality of agents and models is very high. I think there will always be alpha to be achieved, improved differentiation, improved outcomes by specializing to the use case. Now, it's great to start with the general models, but you will specialize over time.
And do you feel pressure to do that now, or do you think that'll just be a natural evolution over time?
Yeah, I think it's a journey that people kind of get on. Like you realize like, wow, look how much better things have gotten with this. Now, how do I go get the next incremental piece of performance out of it?
So today we saw the full picture. It starts with Laura, the nurse, showing us the powerful human outcome, AI giving her more time to care for patients. And it ends with a philosophy that makes it possible, a deep belief in empowering workers, giving them superpowers, and fixing broken systems. This is Palantir's real story. While the media often focuses on fear, Palantir is quietly building an optimistic future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. They are proving that the true power of AI is not in replacing people, but in unleashing them. If you found this video of any value, please do hit the subscribe button. Cheers.